Hey there, everybody. This is Taylor Holmes from THiNC. A Patreon video for you guys to give you a little bit of insight into what it takes to get a post out on THiNC. This is probably I want to guess 20 minutes of video, maybe 15. But I'm already going, and I've got it going at 8 times speed as I create my write up for sleep, the 2020 or 2019 movie. You can tell that right here as I'm writing, I'm putting the names here so I can reference them as I go, as I write. I'm thinking about, who the hell these people are and why, how are they related to everybody else. And I'm kind of going through the initial overview of how the movie works and what's going on. I in a minute or two, about 30 seconds from here, I dump the writing, and my main purpose in showing you this video is showing you what it takes to get a post out on WordPress, to SEO it, to optimize it, to create the images, to get it ready with the reviews and the ratings bars and whatnot. You've seen me write before over on Patreon. If you haven't, occasionally I will write over on Discord and will write as I go, and you can watch the thoughts come together. And as I edit, and you can see that's what's happening here. And really soon that'll jump to a different space. But mainly, all of my you can see below the image here of the family. These are my notes. I actually dump my notes while I write. While I watch the movie, I dump them straight into the write up that I'm doing. And so you can see every now and again, I'm right here. I'm reviewing the movie. I'm watching a piece, trying to get a detail as I write, and I'm also referring back down to my notes below as I walk through at a high level. You can also see that here I'm referring to the actors, who they might be, which reminds me I probably haven't put their titles in, like their names in. I probably need to go back and do that. Um, I can, like, one of the details that I was just looking up was who was the younger um, Lore, and who was the not younger Lore, the younger Trudy, and who was the younger Otto. There, took a screen grab of Lore, the younger Lore from the movie, right? And now I'm referring back to my notes again. So you can see that as I go and as I write, I'm referring back and forth between IMDb, the movie itself, and my own notes that I originally took while I was watching the film. One of the really interesting things about this particular movie, and one of the reasons why I used this movie to illustrate what it takes to get a THiNC write up done, was because of just the complexities and the details. And it's a very representative sample of, what I love about independent film. Yeah, you can see here I'm rewatching the end before I continue to write. I love the fact that it's very difficult to understand. It's hard to tease out the various players and whether they're good guys or bad guys. It's hard to, at first blush, figure out what's going on. And so, as this is a really fantastic film that really pushes the viewer to think really hard and to try and ascertain what the hell is going on. Um, I love the fact that the ending is crazy ambiguous. That the movie is very cagey in what it's releasing to the viewer. And the thing I loved most was that, Gastro, the way you jumped in, others jumped in and leaned in. You can see here I'm referring back to Discord, and asking a question or two. I even think I was trying to understand the specific piece of this and how auto related to it and the ending. One of the pieces that I didn't really grasp right away was, what does the ending mean when the boar is walking out of the hallway and we see Mona trying to, start her life and move on, and yet the boar is coming for her again. What does that mean? And it wasn't until I actually wrote it up that I kind of came to the conclusion. I knew for me, I had settled in my own mind what the ending meant, which you can read right now. But basically, it basically meant that the that either Otto was not dead, or Kristoff had taken over, or there was some other advancing evil occurring. Like she was about to become tormented like her mother. And that's what I came to the conclusion of. But the main reason I did this video was to show you, like, the writing is one thing, the text here and the titles is one thing, but there's also, I'm going to jump here now to Photoshop, and I'm going to show you, like, how, what I do in Photoshop to just get that hero image created. I went and created my size, my image. I go and I search for an apropos uh, image for the movie. Usually, what I look for in a hero image that I like and the style that I like to go with is usually something in the foreground and a very far background. If it's all in one room together, it doesn't really work as well. I like to drop the title of the movie behind the main character of the movie, and so with this photo, I took this photo of Trudy and snagged it, and then brought it over to Photoshop, centered it up, and aligned it to be in the middle of the screen, and then dropped in the main title of the movie, Sleep, um, and and then press that text behind the foreground character. And it's a pretty simple trick. It's not very hard to do, and I've done it for, I don't know, 10 years on my. And now I'm looking at that; it doesn't look centered at all. I hope I didn't leave it like that. Um, so I rasterize that and then trace out the the person in the foreground, and then cut out the title, just to give it just a little extra pop. Make it not many sites do that, and that's been my thing for years. Super simple to do, but it takes, we're watching this for a few minutes now. It takes 5 minutes. Um, Most of the time is taken in picking the photo. So once I have that, I'll put in usually subtext that explains or gives a, what is the post going to do for the movie. In this case, it's movie recommendation and something, something, something. Um, Movie recommendation and explanation. So not quite the right size yet. Um, so I'll fiddle with the fonts. I'll fiddle with the coloring. I'll see what's most eye catching, and sizing of the fonts. And then I'll publish that. I'll publish that to the site. One of the things that goes hidden from a reader of a blog post that, it's worth its even half its weight. I don't consider my site really worth much of weight, but there's a lot that goes into search engine ranking, search engine optimization, optimizing of the site, optimizing of the images. There are plugins that optimize the images into the 5 different main sizings of images for the site: mobile friendly, web friendly, app friendly. Like it'll lay those images out. So as the moment they're published to the site, it optimizes. Also, another key detail that occurs is the utilizing of keywords. You can see here that now I've switched over to uploading the image, and I'm bringing it over to the website now and making it the main image, and utilizing keywords and utilizing words that you wouldn't normally use in English. And that's why some of the phrasing and some of the verbiage or lexicon that I use is kind of strange. But in the very first sentence of the very first paragraph, usually I repeat the title. That's a search engine trick. All right, you can see here that I've moved on to some more of that metadata information. I'm setting the ratings. I'm setting my scores for how I perceive the movie. That's 100% arbitrary. These details right here are the different groupings or kind of the types of a movie that this is, a thriller, etc. And we'll let you search for it as in that regard. And then the rest is you publish it and you go. Um, I'm ending the movie review with some comments about commenting below, but that's basically it. That's how it works. It took me about 2.5 hours to write this review and get it published, but it took probably 5 hours total. Hope you enjoyed it. See you later.